Collections aren't everything. Being very careful with what maybe a broker says are certain add backs, right? And looking into those in detail. A broker is really going to tell you, here's what you stand to make out of the practice, right? Kind of a high level number, but it's really kind of figuring out, well, what goes into that number? Taking it literally from soup to nuts, working from collections down to the costs of the true expenses of that practice. What are these add backs they're adding back in, right? All of these shareholder perks or non-operational expenses, right? Are there things in there that you might need to replace? Is a spouse on payroll, or are family members on payroll that are truly helping with the practice? Do they need to be factored into a projection, right? Maybe that's a separate cost that you're going to be incurring. And really just making sure as a buyer, you're understanding what those numbers are, what true profitability of the practice is, what your debt service is going to look like. So you really level set the expectations, and there's tons of different, without getting into the details of different ways to value practices and really what to look for. But it's truly understanding the financials, the P&L of the practice. What are the add backs? So, so-and-so says, I'm going to take home X from the practice. Sure, you might, but let's really sit down. Let's evaluate that. Let's evaluate best case, worst case scenario. What percentage of those collections are fee for service? What percentage are insurance reimbursements? Are those insurance reimbursements, how much of that is maybe an older doctor that's getting Delta Premier based reimbursements, and you have a younger associate that isn't eligible for Premier, and there may be going to be PPO. So factoring in a haircut right off the bat of revenue. How many new patients are they seeing, right? Looking at the practice management data as well, as opposed to just, the financial statements, right? What's the mix? Is the doctor doing the same type of dentistry? Are you going to be, as a buyer, are you doing the same type of dentistry, or is there additional dentistry that you're going to bring in? What's the opportunity? What's the upside of the practice? Number of operatories? How much production can you handle? Right? So all of these different questions to be asked as part of the buy side process, I think, is important. And getting to, understand what the client or the prospective client's goals are going to be, or where they want to be in, say, 3 to 5 years.